Hi everyone. So now we're done with obviously a while ago I have friends. Now we're in the our whole universe is in the hot dance dead but nearly 14 billion years ago Spanish started with. So I hope that you know that my second background is a set from the Big Bang Theory and last one is a set from Friends. So what's next? I don't know if I will have a next video. I hope that I don't have a next video, but I'm a talker, so I don't know if I'll be having one. Now you're done with the first video. And as of the moment, someone already viewed my video. I wasn't planning to send it to you right away, but of course, because I don't want you to feel burdened in whatsoever. But okay, so I hope that you'll be watching this video of mine. And now for the second part of the video, I am sure now that video is okay. It's working. That's why I was waiting for it. Now let's go with the next part of our video, which is letter B, from global teacher to global teacher professionals. Now, a while ago, we've been discussing for so many days na the global teacher and local teacher. And we've been thinking, looking back at the concept of global education, how do we define now a local teacher? Now that you have your own understanding of global and global and local, I hope that you already know what a global teacher is. And that's why if I will ask you any time of the day, you'll be sharing what a global teacher is. Now, is this one of the questions that you will think? Is this somebody who teaches abroad? So does it mean that since I'm not teaching abroad, I'm not a local teacher? Is that a yes or a no? So you think about it. And is this a person teaching anywhere in the world and can teach the 21st century learning books? That is a global teacher. But local teacher is you can also teach that 24/7 anywhere in the world and you can trim down to its local origin as well. So for example, you're from Philippines and you've been checking, okay, so this is the problems around the world in Japan, in Korea, in Europe, in USA, in Antarctica, in every single thing. And we'll try to put these big ideas, these SDGs will be trimming down and we will help the nation. Ayan, the donation, the nation. So we may produce people that is okay, we will produce students that is globally and locally competitive. So that's very important sa atin. Syempre, importante yan, di ba? Dahil without them, happen. Wait, there's a problem. I think I have a problem. Wait lang. Okay, stop sharing ko muna, no? So I think I have a problem. So I'll be sharing it again. Good sound. Ayan. So, now, pwede nga, I forgot about this now. Okay, so I'll make me small. All right. So, now, going back to our discussion, and the concept of local teacher emerges as a response to the growing recognition of globalization and localization. Siguro maybe back then we don't care about what's happening before there, but now we care about these things. I was actually informed before. I really hate watching the news. It's too stressful. I don't care about them. So I'll just care about my life, my beliefs, what I want, what I love to do, and every single thing. But I didn't realize now that I have a car, I realize that if, for example, before, usually my full tank is 1.8. So in a normal sedan car that is power unleaded, my normal full tank, as in sagad to the bones, before within these 2 years of me driving this my car's name is actually Wings. Yeah, I wait because I'm raised and I want to race and I want wings. Just kidding. But mine Wings usual full tank is 1K. But there was a time I full tank it at 2,200. So my gosh, it's so, the difference is really big. And now why am I mentioning it? Am I sharing it because I want you to know the bills that I'm paying and it's hard for me? No. I'm sharing this because the problems there, the problems abroad is actually reflected here. What you're experiencing there has an implication, and we could also say we felt it too. And not just for me. Ma'am Dayan, you're using your car and we don't care about that. Yes, now you're using the tricycle fare. Didn't you know back then when I was first commuting to Meneses campus, it's only 30 pesos. Imagine a 10 peso additional points, additional pesos. So imagine, uh, 10 pesos ang dagdag. Okay. Si Christian David nag-message. Mamaya ka na, Christian. So, imagine 10 pesos. And if you will just add 3 pesos, well, I don't know your fare, but as a non-student, it's 13 pesos. So imagine plus 3, you can already go from within 7 kilometers. And did you know, when I was commuting, our fare is only 6 pesos. Yes, as a student, 6 pesos. That is when I was commuting in college. And back then, as a student, huh? As a student, when I was in elementary, it's just 3 pesos. So imagine, I remember before when I commute and it was at 3 pesos. Oh shit, huh, ang mura naman. Like that. But of course, it's not that back then. But well, yeah, it's already 9 years for 2015 until now. So additional for elementary. Yeah, it's a little bit kinda late now. So okay, sorry. Now, also, in addition to that, when I was studying at HSAM, so Holy Spirit Academy of Malolos, from Santa Rita Santa Rita to Holy Spirit, it's only 15 to 30 minutes by, well, not by commute, no? But that's it, 15 to 30 minutes only. Right now, oh my God, especially for the rush hour, my goodness, it takes so long, no? So many, but the good thing is, before, our place is, well, we don't have lots of food. We need to go to the market. We don't have pure gold around. We don't have Robinsons around. We only buy to Sari Sari store in our place. But right now, we could go to Pure Gold. I could walk there. I could go to Robinsons. It's easy for me. Now, why are you sharing this from Diane? We don't care about your life. Yeah, I know. Me too. But the reason I'm sharing this is because, as you can see, right now, there's a big change. And the things that is changing around the world is connected with us. Now, people who are maybe Robinsons are well here back then, but the things that we don't usually taste, we can now taste it. It's easier for us to get these things. Shopee, online, every single thing. It's just in a click of our hands. And also before, if you want to go international, like for example, you want Amazon, you want I forgot that. You want into Nike like that. You need to go to abroad, or you need to ask your parent to who is an OFW to buy you these things, and then you will wait for very long, and it's not also na so those things, and not just there, but also in education as well. There are things that I love when I was younger that I hope that I could only see that on television. And right now, I can see it in the classroom. Or sometimes I can now see it. You're using it now. That is the difference between before and right now. And right now, I know that Trump is the current president of the United States of America. And you will think we don't care about Trump. Ah, my God, we actually care about our own president because it is directly related to us, and we don't care about that. But actually, you do care about who's the president of USA because USA is actually one of the biggest countries that has influence in us. And we need to have a stronger communication to them. And for instance, Trump has a problem in immigrants. That's also a problem for us, especially you, because you're future teachers and you would like to go there in that country, diba? That's one of the things that you would like to have, isn't it? So it has something directly something to do with us. The policies that will be made, you need to know what's happening around the world. That is important. So that is globalization. Now, a global teacher, just a review, is someone who embodies both global and local competencies. They are skilled, have the right attitude, and uphold universal values, allowing them to teach students both home and abroad. So it doesn't mean that you're a local teacher, that you're just here. But the good thing, especially right now because of the pandemic, you could also teach abroad. And we saw that there's a lot of schools. For example, we have 5-1 Talk, we have Akadsok. I think Akadsok now is not available anymore. And many international things, isn't it? We also have VA. Although most of the VA are company based, but there are also different training in which you just do it online and then you will train other people, you teach other people around the world. So that's also one. They are also equipped with both traditional and modern educational technologies that can be applied anywhere, anytime, and in any context. That's a good thing about global education or global teacher because and you cannot say, naku po, hindi na uso yan. My God, hindi na uso si Manila paper. Hindi na uso si Campolina. Meron na tayo ngayong PowerPoint. Bakit ba kayo mga teacher ay naggaganito pa? Hindi po sa lahat ng classroom. As you can see, some schools, they don't have the means of television. And my question for you is, would you buy one for your students? For you? Maybe some of you, yes, of course. Are you sure? I remember one of my students. So wait a minute. I'll just open my electric fan. So one of the first things that I've had with my classmates before, they're actually telling me this story. Sabi nila, alam mo, Dayan, I bought something for my student. Sabi ko, ano yung ginawa mo dun sa student? Sabi niya, I bought a television. First salary as a deaf ed teacher, I bought a television. Ay, wow! Sabi ko, that's nice. You bought a television for your students. Kaso lang ba nangyari? So, what happened? Nabagsak. Sabi niya, it was, buti na lang, hindi siya, sabi niya, nabagsak ng bata. Halos pigil na pigil ako. Mumurahin ko na yung bata. Buti na lang buhay yung TV. Imagine, pinag-ipunan ko yun. First salary ko para sa kanila. Tapos ibabagsak lang nila. So, as you can see, isn't it? You will really, it's kind of fun. Pero, uh, it's really hard, di ba? Na, imaginein mo, you have been preparing this stuff and then suddenly biglang masisira because of whatever reason these students are having it. So, and not all schools have television talaga. So, I was actually very, I was actually laughing with my students eh. Sabi ko sa kanila, ayan, kasi kayo, masyado kayong, ayan, they want to go to this school and then they realize that they don't have a television. And then, I told them, "Oh, anong gagawin natin? Ma'am, I'm so pagod na kasi po puro po ako sulat kamay. Lahat po sinusulat namin sa kamay." Sabi ko, "Oh, kawawa ka naman." Kawawa ka naman, no? Hindi, ganun talaga ang life kasi hindi mo makukuha just because gusto mo lang. Alright? So, now, uh, In addition to that, a global teacher thinks and acts with a global mindset, but teaches within the local communities, towns, province, or regions where they are based. Now, a global teacher, maybe some of you will tell me, or ano ba yan, nakakainis dito sa lugar namin. Napakadaming ano. Naku, buti pa doon sa ibang lugar na to. Kaya hindi ako magaling magturo eh, kasi ito lang yung meron ako eh. Ay, excuse me, the reason why you're not good in teaching is not just because you you have problem. I mean, environment. That's also one factor. But maybe because the reason why you are not good in teaching is because you are not capable talaga. Kasi minsan, we keep on saying na the reason why we are less because of the things that we don't have. And sometimes it's not about that eh. Hindi siya ganon. The reason why we are less because we don't allow ourselves to because we don't allow ourselves to improve, or we don't think and act with global mindset. Because we keep on saying, hindi na natin kailangan yan eh, nandito lang naman tayo. Or for example, let's say this one, uh, tiga-Meneses lang naman tayo, di ba? Hindi naman tayo main campus material, so we don't need to study like what the main campus is doing. Bahala na sila doon, mga second grade citizen lang naman tayo. Is that how you think? No, that's not how you think. We think like, we're from Bulsu. We do this. O, di ba? We keep on saying na, "Ma'am, mahina po kasi ako sa English." Eh, nako, you need to improve. Mahina ka pala sa English eh. Ano yan, tapos na. Tapos na ang ating life. Mahina ka na eh. And that's not a global mindset. You need to think, mahina ako ngayon. But I'll try my best so that I'll be the best. Oh, di ba? Nilakihan natin yung face ko. So, ganun dapat ang tititin natin. We should not think we're less because we're not less. Or maybe we're not less. We're just learning. Okay? We're just learning as a global teacher, future global teacher, we know that we will be better. Oh, baba. Okay. So, now, in the case of a global Filipino teacher, they are defined by qualities as an in-depth knowledge, functional skills, and embedded values, which enable them to effectively navigate both local and global in the teaching environment. So make sure that your students will learn how to love your subject. That's our goal. They will not think less because they're in a public school. They will not think less because they are in the lower section. They will think full. They will be proud. They will be happy. Because even if they are, or regardless of whatever reason, you are there with them. So that's very important. So, sir, sorry for, I always keep on checking if it was recording. So, ang hirap naman, di ba? Parang pag hindi tayo nagre-record. Baka mamaya, hindi pala ako nagre-record. Okay? Ayan. So, still recording. All right. So, now, this is what we want to see as a global teacher. A global teacher has this. A global teacher has, it may be Filipino, but the things that he or she is doing is not just for Filipino. It's a combination of the things she do as a teacher. Isa yan. So nakakatuwa, that is what we want to do. That is a global teacher. So it's really nice that we have this one, no? Okay. All right. So now, what is global teachers? Again, understand how the world is interconnected. Recognize that the world has rich variety of ways of life, have a vision of the future, and sees what the future would be for himself or herself and the students. Be creative. They are creative and innovative. They understand, respect, and tolerant of the diversity of cultures. They believe and take action for education that will sustain the future. They facilitated digitally mediated learning. They possess good communication skills for Filipino teachers to be multilingual. They are aware of international teacher standards and framework, and, of course, they master the competencies of the beginning teacher in the Philippine professional standards for teacher. That's one of the most important thing for Glocal teachers. For Glocal teachers, in addition to the above qualities, they must possess the following distinct characteristic and core values of Filipino teachers. So ano nga ba yon? First one, ang isang Filipino Glocal teacher, they must be cultural and historical rootedness by building on the culture and the history of the learners and the place. Next, they also need to contextualize the teaching learning by using local indigenous materials, content, and pedagogy whenever appropriate. So, is aside from we keep on pushing the international, this is my experience, and we could also promote localness, locality. So, we could promote Filipinism para po sa atin. Next, excellence in personal and professional competence, leadership, research, technology, innovation, and creativity. We keep on saying, Mom, research, research. Sabi ni Sylvia Sanchez tuloy. Sabi ni, pangalan, wait, Cynthia Villar. Okay. Research, research. Ano bang mapapala natin doon? Question is, pag di tayo nagre-research, what will happen to us? If we don't have research, we keep on reading the books that we already read. We don't have additional knowledge that we have, especially for the sciences and mathematics. Sa inyo kasi yung dalawang, sa amin kasi in literature, we don't have additional text. We have our bread and butter. Meron na tayo yan eh. But the sciences pala, sorry. Sa math kasi isa lang din eh, no? Hindi naman, may bagong formula. Yan, parang bihira naman nangyayari yun. Hindi na pala. It's not, this time, addition is now forgotten. In with the new, out with the old. Hindi na po tayo mag-a-add. So, hindi naman ganun sa math, di ba? Hindi naman natin tatanggalin na, sorry po, this time, wala na po tayong tinatawag na PEMDAS. Das PEM na po. Hindi naman ganun. So, it's different. Unlike the sciences, there are old things, old laws, but using additional and additional and additional and additional. Sila. So, literature din naman, it's still the same. We may have different additional skills today, but the skills that we have before is still the same. Like for example, we will always start with CBC. Hindi naman baliktad na, okay, so instead of starting with a CBC like bag, sat, mat, let's start with a hard word first. Speedometer. Hindi naman tayo ganun. It's not different ways. And for PE, I think they have still the same, di ba? So PE is still the same, yeah. May mga iba lang tayong methods right now for health, pero still the same din sila. And sa BE-Ed, there are different, the subjects are the same, since pare-pareho tayo, but the difference in BE-Ed is that their approach, kasi ang daming mga, actually, ang kailangan matutunan ng BE-Ed is the different approach, how they will handle this type of students. So, yun ang mahirap sa BEd kasi parang every now and then, dati nga I thought if the student is makulit, makulit lang. But right now, some makulit na students who's not listening and what's on and so on, some of them are sick pala. Hindi sick, but they have disabilities. So, that's it. The responsiveness through social involvement and service learner-centeredness, respect and sensitivity for diversity and inclusiveness, accountability and integrity by being positive role model with strong moral character, committed and conscientious, credible, honest, and loyal. No, My God, my dear students, once you're not reliable, once you're known not to be committed, and once your moral character is, kumbaga parang, it's like this. When you did something that is, you're not morally okay, your self is already tarnished. Whatever you do, they'll keep on thinking you're doing this for yourself. You're taking advantage of other people. You think you're doing a good job, but actually you're not. So that's actually some of the things. We also need to ecological sensitivity by being resilient and a steward of environment for sustainability. Nationalism, Filipinism by being responsible citizens and upholding Filipino identity amidst globalization. So although you are, we could say that you are globalized, you have knowledge of others, but that does not forget, you're also a Filipino. And hindi tayo, in Philippines, we are not Doña Victorina and we're not the asawa ng Alperes. Forgot the name of the asawa ng Alperes in No Limit Angel. It should not be like that. We're Filipinos. In our heart, in our soul, we are Filipinos. We may go to different country, we may be a part of a different country, but we're Filipinos. If you're Bisaya, you're not just a Filipino, you are a Bisaya. If you're a Tagalog, I am a Tagalog. I am tiga Bulacan. I, sabihin dapat, you're also proud that if you speak in Tagalog, may we ka. Eh kasi we, oh, Tagalog na Tagalog. Bulakenya ako. Right? So, yan. So, may kailangan, you're proud of yourself. And you're also globally competitive. Don't want you to feel less. Even if you are a minority. We don't care about that. We love that. Okay? So, dapat, that's how we also let your students feel that they are accepted inside of your class. And faith in the divine providence by being humane, just, peace-loving, and respectful of human rights. So, di ba, although we have divine providence, it's not about the religion, but it's about respectful to the human rights. The need for local teachers is on the rise in several countries worldwide. Even developed countries are in dire need of competent teachers who will teach in rural and urban classrooms imbued with characteristics and attributes of a global teacher. So, now, we are in the second lesson of our class. So, stretch. It's still 15 slides pa tayo. Alright. So now we are in the closer look at the teachers and the teaching profession in the ASEAN and beyond. So, ASEAN country. Many of us would like to be part of uh, ASEAN countries, isn't it? So we would like to be what you call this? We would like to be international. Kaya nga gusto natin mag-ano ng Thailand, isn't it? Gusto natin matry. So currently, I was actually waiting for Ash or Chastity's text chat that they're already there in Thailand. So we want to first day in Thailand. Okay, so I was waiting for their TikTok video if they will provide. So, whatever. So now, we would like to become professionals abroad. Especially, I think many English majors are English majors if you're like me, because I want to go to international school, and be away from home and try different things. Especially, I love eating different cuisines. Yes. Lesson 2 will describe the teacher professionals in the ASEAN and beyond. It will discuss the current situation, circumstances, teaching workplace, qualification, career pathways, benefits, and other factors that influence quality education. So, this lesson will provide a clear landscape of how it is to be a teacher here and abroad. The lesson will focus on the teachers in the 10 member states of the ASEAN. We have the Brunei, Cambodia, Indonesia, Laos, PDR, Malaysia, Myanmar, Philippines, Thailand, Singapore, and Vietnam. Teaching as a profession will be focused on this lesson to provide peer view of the professional and practices for purposes of comparison and development of mutual respects of the countries. So, now, let's dig in. The ASEAN has one vision, one identity, and one community. Let's now look closely at the teaching professions and professional in the 10 Asia member countries as a whole. So, ito na tayo sa countries. When we say primary level, this includes preschool, kindergarten, or nursery school. So, primary school naman, it's what we use for children aged 6 to 11 years old. It covers the basic subjects like reading, writing, arithmetic, and science. Secondary level, ito na, ay mga tuturuan ng mga, ito BEd level. So we also have junior high school. This is for the students aged 12 to 15. It builds on the foundation laid in primary school, adding more complex subjects like history, geography, and foreign languages. Senior high school for students 16 to 18 years old. Tertiary level, well, this is where you are. So where the students pursue higher education, earning degrees like bachelor degrees, master's, doctorate, yan. So yan yung mga level eh. So, key points to remember natin, mga ate. Okay. When we say compulsory education, sa mga ASEAN countries, typically, they require students to complete the primary education. Compulsory yan. So, the primary education, kailangan nag-kinder yung mga bata, primary yan. It's very important because that is where they will start reading. Diverse structures, while the general structure is similar, there's some specific details that is different from each country. And for example, no, yung years in each level, yung mga kinoconsider nila, sometimes it's different from different country. And also, the teacher education, teachers typically earn a degree in education from a college or university. Some teachers are, they of course finish, pwede sila magturo even if they are not teacher education. I think some countries yun eh, kasi I've heard some people na they are teaching in this country but they're not a graduate of English. Sa China yata, may mga ganun sila. Vietnam, may mga, they're not a graduate of education but still they're like that. Now, lifelong learning, many countries like the Philippines offer technical vocational education through institutions like TESDA. So, one of the things that I'll be asking you sa atin ay what is TESDA? So that is a question that I'll be asking. So I already highlighted it. That is your clue. Now, the teacher professionals across ASEAN. Academic preparation. This is how we check. For the academic preparations of teacher professionals in basic education, ano nga ba yung requirements? So, usually sa ASEAN countries, ito yung mga iisa sa kanila. Pag primary school teacher ka, the minimum education is usually, but not in the Philippines, often requires a high school diploma, grade 12, or equivalent, and teacher education program. Mali pala. Teacher education program typically involves 2 to 3 years of specialized training education, focusing on teaching methods, child development, and curriculum. So as long as you have teacher education program and also at least you're a graduate of until grade 12. Secondary, okay, so minimum education, usually dapat you have a bachelor's degree in a specific subject area. So kasi secondary education, you need to have your major. Major kasi dapat dyan. So, important dyan if secondary. Teacher education program may involve additional coursework in education, teaching methods, and curriculum or separate postgraduate teaching qualification. So, what are the features of teacher education program? So, teaching practicum, all teachers education programs include practical experience in classroom. So yan yung OJT ninyo. So experience in Philippines, we have cooperating schools. Ayan, that's very important. Next is all countries have diverse approaches. Countries tailor their teacher education programs to their specific needs and context, reflecting their history, culture, and educational priorities. So diverse ang approaches na pero it was tailored for the needs of the society, of course. While there are similarities, the specific requirements and program structures can vary significantly across ASEAN countries. Now, so for the components of the teacher preparation, so syempre kasama to. Wait, sorry na. Okay. Sorry, at hindi ko pala naayos. Part na. Alright. So components of teacher preparation. To ensure quality education, we need teachers. Teachers who are well-trained, motivated, and supported are key to student success. Now, here are the main areas the teacher education programs in ASEAN countries focus on. Gen Ed. We have the general education courses. This includes subjects like history, literature, and philosophy. These subjects help teachers become well-rounded individuals and better understand the world around them. Oh, that's the reason why you have Gen Ed. And even it's not a major subject or Prof Ed subject, you need to have this subject. Okay. So next one is the teaching methods. Teachers can learn a variety of teaching methods such as student-centered learning, project-based learning, cooperative learning, and these methods make learning more engaging and more effective. That is the reason why we have a lot of activities for you so that you will learn. In addition to that, based on our history, our everything that we want as a teacher, we also have this in your Prof Ed classes so that you can learn how to assess, how to make instructional materials, how you present yourself, and the subject knowledge itself. So how will you teach this area of responsibility? And then we also have the practical experience. This is the future teachers gain a hands-on experience. So in Philippines, we have in Bulacan State University, we have FS1, FS2, and practice teaching. So FS1 is the observation only. FS2 participation, it means that you already have a local demonstration teaching. And for the third one is you will now have a 190 hours na immersion talaga. So you'll be with this the student of yours. So this will allow them to apply what they have learned in real world classroom. So nakikita nyo na siya. This is actually very important to you. And I know at first you will think, I'm very excited. I want to become a teacher. But well, most of my students after this, after their FS and after during their PT, they want to give up because it's really hard. And now, if they will go back from being a student teacher to a student, sabi ma, mas gusto ko na pong magturo, ayoko na pong maging bata. Oh, so this is an example. So subject-specific knowledge, teachers who will teach specific subjects like math, science, English, Filipino, and BPED, they need a strong understanding of these subjects. And as an English teacher, you're expected to speak in English. You cannot say no to it. In math, you're expected to be good in math. You can teach math. It's easy for you to do the high school level math. Easy peasy for science. You are expected to know the different laws, you know, the different elements. You need to know the different formulas, and you don't need any paper while you are teaching. You memorize everything. That's your expectation. And for Filipino, the nang and nang, those simple, but yet ano yung tawag dito? The different terminologies in Filipino, you need to know that. And the way you speak, it seems that you're a Filipino teacher, which is very important to them. You know the drill. You need to know all of these things. Yes, you do. But you will tell me, Mom, hindi ko tinuturo sa college yan eh. Well, you're a college student. You're not a high school student. That's why you also need to research and do things on your own. Not just for everything is under us. You also need to do your own research. After completing their teacher education programs, graduates typically earn degrees like a bachelor in education or BEd, bachelor of elementary education, or Bachelor of Secondary Education or Bachelor of Physical Education. Some countries also offer postgraduate diplomas in education, so several standards and competencies were developed as a guide for all teachers, some of which will be discussed in a detailed succeeding lesson. So, now, what are the most common standards that revolve around anchor on those following domains? Number one is skills in the 21st century, professionalism and accountability, pedagogical competence rather, teacher characteristic and qualities, and knowledge competence. These are the common standards among all of the domains. This is what you have present. I think this is part of the PPST and you've already know this one, supposedly. Now, let us have a short 10-minute research sharing for the group. This is another group. So for English 3A, kindly screenshot your group members. Ayan. Screenshot ninyo ang group members ninyo. So, I cannot see it again. Wait. Ayan. So, medyo hindi naman pala ako nakaharang. I thought nakaharang ako. I-screen shot ninyo ang mga members ninyo. Yan. So let's look at them. So, so group 1, group 2, group 3. This is different. This is for your 10-minute sharing. And let's have another part. Ayan. So sorry ha. Litan ko na lang siguro. Okay na yung 3 groups kasi masyadong madami. Mahirap yung masyadong madami. Ay, hindi. I-next page ko na lang. So, ayan. Mas madali. Let's have a 10-minute group sharing. Ayan. So, 11, 11, 11, 33. And just screenshot these people so that it will be easier for you. Let's have Filipino. Another 3 groups. Screenshot yung Filipino. I think some of your classmates are not present. Ito yata si Maris. I'm not sure. Okay, let's have the next one. BPED and BEd. Wait. Ayan, it will be easier for you. This is another group, all right? Another group for your research. And science, they already know this one, so it's easier for them. Okay, yeah. But just in case you forgot, just screenshot this one. Okay, now, to understand the similarities and differences in teaching, this is the instruction. So already check the group. Just next na lang. Choose 2 ASEAN countries. For example, Philippines and Singapore. But make sure to check other groups. No groups shall be repeated. Okay? Different countries. So for example, group 1 already have Philippines and Singapore. They're group 1. It's up to you. Next, Korea and Japan. Group 3, ganun and so you cannot have the same country. Now, for each country, I want you to investigate the following aspects. 1, the school levels and structure. Identify the structure of schooling for primary, secondary, and tertiary levels and note any unique features. Next, the teacher qualifications and training paths. Describe the qualifications needed to become a teacher, typical training paths, and any specific certification requirements. We also want to check the common degrees and certification. I want you to list down the most common degrees or certifications required for teachers, and I want you to create a comparison chart. Now, this is the part 1 only. So the chart yan. The part 2 is to analyze how if the teacher respect social status vary across the cultures and personal perspectives. So, For instructions, review the excerpt provided from the Global Teacher Status Index. Reflect on the following questions and write a brief response. 1 to 2 paragraphs is already okay. So you answer these questions. What factors affect teachers' social status and respect in different countries? How do these factors align or differ from your own views about teaching profession? And focus on the aspects such as low cultural expectations, economic factors, and educational priorities impact teacher status. So screenshot this one so it will be easier for you. I'm giving you some time to do such. Okay, so let's have the next one. Now, how will you present this one? Okay, this is how you will present it. To present this in class, you are only allowed to use handmade materials, no computers, no PowerPoint, just old but good vanilla paper, cartolina, old calendar back, or anything and so on that you think is okay. Make sure that the handwriting is in cursive, visible at the back, and of course, the way you will present should be English. Reporting style is 5 points. Creativity of materials use, 5 points as well. Classroom management is 5 points, which means a deduction shall be given to the presenters or the reporters if the class is not participating. For example, while you're reporting, the class will be very noisy. Or while you are reporting, they are preparing for the next report. That would be minus from your group. Timeliness is if you can report in 10 minutes, you're you don't have deduction. But if you cannot, and you cannot report in 10 minutes or less than 10 minutes, I mean, let's say you only report until 8 minutes, you will also have a deduction. But if you will report in more than 10 minutes, like 12 minutes, you will have -1 for every minute exceeded. Overall, the answer for this one is just 20 points. Isn't it amazing? All right. So I want you to check this one because I want you to put this on your 1/4 sheet of paper. Put this on a 1/4 sheet of paper. Your name, so class name, okay. Group number, put the group number, group members, and then copy and answer. I want you to write down reporting style 5/5. Creativity, materials used over 5. Okay, so I'll be writing it down. So now, let us now have the teaching profession practices in the ASEAN. Now, I know this is part of your activity, but allow me to still have this one. At least you will have a basis. But you're not allowed to use these ideas that I have. Okay? So, hindi siya pwede, no? I don't want you to have this one. So, maybe additional information will come from you guys. Now, major responsibilities of a teacher. So, ano yung mga similarities niya sa sa ASEAN countries? Number one, all countries highlight three core responsibilities: actual teaching, management of learning, and administrative tasks. Yan ang major responsibilities ng isang teacher. Teachers universally engage in classroom teaching, preparing students for academic success and administrative tasks, such as test preparation and grading. That is the major responsibilities of teachers across the globe. So, ibig sabihin, kahit saan ka magpunta, you have these similarities. And for the teacher licensing and certification, licensing or certification is required in all regions to ensure teacher incompetency. ASEAN countries, China, Japan, and the US emphasize standardized requirements like degrees or exams for teachers. They also have the licensing often varies by educational level, with higher educational levels requiring, of course, advanced qualifications ang hinahanap. Significance of teachers naman all throughout is teachers are regarded as vital nation building and student development. So across China, wait lang, para mas madali. Across China, eh, happen. Across China, Japan, and the USA, teachers are expected to instill moral values, discipline, and academic excellence. So, isa sa kailangan yan, ang binibigay ng isang teacher. Now, for the professional status and salaries, teacher salaries vary widely across all regions, but generally increase with experience, qualifications, and teaching levels. So, I'll be sharing you later on kung ano yung mga knowledge ko about this matter. But as of now, I want you to focus on this. So, category natin ay, I mean, per ano. So, I won't be discussing this one. I'll be sharing you this because this is part of your reporting. Okay, so I want you to research. Okay, but I'll be sharing you this one. And you can also check if tama ba ang data ni Ma'am Dayan. This is also good. Okay? Baka mamaya luma na ang data. Sige nga, baguhin nga natin. Okay? Uh-huh. So, sa inyo, China, Japan, USA. Mhm. This one, this one. Okay. So, I'll be back later on with our next video. I think that would be the part 3. Sorry, ano, hindi pala siya kaya. Masyado pala kayong maano kapag hindi tayo nag-part 3. So, I'll be back later on. See you in my next video for the part 3. Goodbye. Stop recording.